Blood and a broken window. Not good. A window and a door? Is that still called a window? I guess. Pane of glass. Broken pane of glass. I'm not sure whether it's the light or the lantern or the fact that no one's here or the stacks of creepy books in a Cthulhu setting, which made me horribly concerned. Is that an actual hand? That is an actual hand. And a forearm, I guess.
Another volume of the Reverend's wife's diary.
Definitely missed volume 1, didn't I? The pastor declared himself to be the prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to this voice in his head because it holds the truth. Which is funny, actually, because that's a lot of paper for those few words. We better for the letter. So whoever broke through was bleeding on the inside, so clearly it wasn't that someone's broken out. I assume, given the placement, they merely broke through so that they could open the door from this side, but I don't know whether that would work, actually, considering the fact that there isn't really a catch on this side. It's just a keyhole. But let's go forwards and on. I want to make sure that I'm reading any books that would cause me to go horribly, horribly mad. Just for, you know, reasons.
Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams. It's the work that laid the foundations of psychoanalysis at the beginning of this century.
And I believe if it is Sigmund Freud, that all of these dreams pretty much equate to feelings for your mother. There's practical work written by Sigmund Freud for psychology. Sigmund Freud for psychologists. Is psychologist like a journal? Describes the techniques of analytical interpretation of dreams. The analysis must follow several rules, especially that of free association, a principle announced by Freud at the end of the 19th century. It treats dreams as a way of revealing buried desires. I cannot believe that this theory is applicable to my nightmares. That's always the case in it with rebuttals of Sigmund Freud's thing. It's, you know, it's, oh, I don't want a nightmare, therefore nightmares can't, and dreams by association can't represent desire. But at the same time, then Sigmund would say it's a desire for, you know, you sort of hating yourself and... Oh, I've got that book already. And a desire to be terrified. Darkwater history. The lighthouse. I wonder whether we'll end up going to the lighthouse. Why is it on the front, actually? A Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on the island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of this peculiar colour of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left of spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviours. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. I assume they walked into the sea. So I wonder whether I'm going to have to go and visit... I've obviously visited the manor, but the church and the cemetery. Possibly. And obviously the peculiar colour is the dark shades of the sea is probably the colour of that creature's blood, so it probably sleeps under the island then, doesn't it? Interesting. A lot that we can derive from a particularly short passage. What is that? A quiver? Oh, it's like a parchment case, isn't it? That you can put parchments in. Okay. All manner of strange things. And something bad happened here. I don't want to leave this particular area yet until I know what's going on. Yeah, more parchment carrying cases. Either that or he is a fan of archery. Mythology versus theology. Mythology, this isn't going to be a good shelf, is it? Oh, why is that in the mythology section? Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of his time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. That is true. The more we learn, the less likely an individual is to master a particular subject. Only 34%. Right. What do you say? I see HP something. HP.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers placed truth on the same footing as a religion.
don't know whether this book is an actual book or not. I have not heard of H.P. Blavatsky. But anyway, these Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore in Darkwater, could be as much a fake as the irrefutable proof of Blavatsky's sincerity. Occultism. Strange secrets. At least I didn't go more insane from this. And the same drawings in the, whatchamacallit, as in the, the Institute. Except for these ones. I haven't seen these ones in the Institute before. I assume that's a woman. And you. Would you read the book?
No.
Yeah, not yet. I didn't say no, totally. What does it say? Oh, it's another Malleus Bestiarum. Should I arm myself with the knowledge? Handbook on Anatomy and Dissection. As precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgeries specific to malformations and motor disorders. Useful. What is this then? Biology. Mythology. Do I said no. Does it affect my destiny each time I say no? No, because I already read it. Should I delve further into madness? I kind of want to see the book.
This book contains unholy knowledge.
Ah, there it is, the Shambler. This collection catalogues and classifies the creatures that I'd never heard of. Divinities from the stars, creatures capable of travelling from one dimension to another. It presents itself as the reference work on the best theory of the myth, without giving details on the mythology to which it refers. Its pages are covered with phantasmagorical illustrations. That is a word that you don't hear too often. Did I not gain any insanity loss from that? No. I'm not sure whether it's just because I'm used to it then. Malleus Bestiarum. No, because that's the book that I'm currently reading. Oh, I currently read, but the other one was about hounds, wasn't it? So clearly it's just the first time reading Malleus Bestiarum. So they are safe to read from now on. But I don't know whether other books are. Don't really want to be wasting my lantern oil. And I think that's just about everything in here. Take a further look around then. So, if we follow the footsteps first of all, what are you? A dead bug? And some guts. And a tiny little, either a piece of pottery or a bug KKK hat. Oh, I guess a piece of pottery. So footsteps leading out, I guess. They don't go that way. Well, Algernon is definitely not in here. What are you? Oh. Lantern oil. I guess I can have my lantern oil then. And it's not too bright. More anatomy. Darkwater history. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because, up until then, the region was favoured refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, Scylla returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of ferocious combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. Was it maybe not a whale then? They said it was the greatest catch, but did anyone specifically mention it as a whale? If I check, I got too much, but miraculous catch, giving up hope, whaling ship, unbelievable catch, of size that went beyond the formidable tooth whales. It's the cetacean for the whole deck. Perilous catch. The immense size of this whale, so it does refer to it as a whale, but also the term cetacean, actually I'm not too sure. I'm just going to quickly look that up. Okay, so it's specifically whales and dolphins, so it's a relatively limited sort of set of creatures. The fact that calls it a whale once, I'd assume that it looks like a whale then, or it's a large whale. But the fact that they said it had eaten all the other ones gives me some cause for concern with it actually not being a whale, possibly. Is there nothing else in this room? Don't know enough about chess to know whether that has any significance, but there doesn't seem to be anything in the corners. A mysterious chalice. Very sure that's an ape, isn't it? The hell's that skull? Got like hair on it. Is it a skull? Oh no, I thought it was the top of a skull. Right. Linguistics. The only place to go is back here then.
What happened here?
Bad stuff. I want to check the stuff before I'll see whether there's anything else I can see before going in. I can't check you just yet. I guess I need to leave the painting back.
A strange amulet. I have a feeling I'd better not touch it.
It's in the shape of a large dog. I don't know what it represents. I might find more by searching the bookstore. I said I'd better not touch it, and I picked it up anyway. I guess use a handkerchief. Anatomy on a handbook on anatomy and dissection. The least that can be said about this book is that its title is well conceived. The illustrations of human anatomy and the dissection methods presented are illustrated in great detail. You have to have a strong heart or detachment proper to doctor to consult its pages. And then just general stuff here, no books or anything. Game, I know about reconstructions. How would I have gotten this far without knowing that? Alchemy. Let us see what happened here then.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from?
Okay, so they broke in from here.
Seems like amateur work.
Smashed your hand, didn't even use gloves, yeah. What's that sound? So they didn't go in here because I can't go in there. But this is where we see the footsteps from before.
To whom does this footprint belong?
To whom? Appear injured? But I don't know again whether this is just my idea. Does it look like it's got Algernon Drake's facial features? I didn't really get enough of a good look at him, but I noticed he doesn't have a beard, and I'm fairly sure Algernon did. Either way, he's clutching his side. I don't know how I can tell that he's injured his side, but let's just see whether there's anything else in the bookstore. Obviously, there's that. Anything further back? Nothing. And I can't use my lantern here. Creepy. Alright, I don't know whether my medicine's going to be sufficient.
This burglar seems to be rather clumsy.
I wonder whether he smashed that deliberately then. Nothing else that I can see. Let me go into here. Obviously the painting's a thing of interest. Dead bugs. I didn't see them. What the fuck? And rats.
What killed all these animals?
What did kill all these animals? A crowbar.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene?
Someone who does not care. Is that a pentagram? Oh, that's not good. Is there anything else I can check?
What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
Wait, what's that written on the portrait? Is that writing, or is it just like age damage? Oh god.
What the? Charles Hawkins?
How can I? Oh, this isn't good.
Looks like the symbol rejected Hawkins. Where did I see it?
So she put a symbol of protection for whatever book it was?
What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess?
How the hell am I seeing all this? What's the rest of the place look like? Is it all messed up? Ooh, I don't like this. Algernon. Not good.
Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe.
An Algernon.
Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Imagine if things could get me when I'm in that. Ugh. Right, and now I can look at more stuff. There's no point in me trying to... I can hear whispering. That's not a good sound. Right. Let's just see what these are first.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Study the... Is that one of Da Vinci's flying vessels?
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
So the amulet seems to be protective then. The key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and branch whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones were engraved at its centre. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. So who's written that down? Potential buyers. Algernon Drake. $2,053. Doesn't seem like much now, but that was a lot back then. Now, before I go and do that, which I assume gives me the combination, I'm just going to have a look around. See what it is. There are... Holy just... So that's like Arkham Anthology. Is there anything else? Something in here? Chess. Interesting.
Things are not looking good.
Why can I view this now, but not before? And the chalice.
A kind of chalice.
Goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stones. The rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif. Oh, nuts. Right, well, I'm assuming I'm going to find more on that parchment then, seeing as it seems to be a multi-step thing. And that's a recording device that I can play in the gramophone. Right. Let's get back to them.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
Okay, a page seems to be hidden here. It's possible to read. If somebody finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still on this plane of reality in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral urn must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. Of this world, I don't like that. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination are to be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellects and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its contents to the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Armitage of Miskatonic University. I'm wearing a Miskatonic University hoodie right now, actually. The content of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you'll be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and you'll act accordingly. In any event, I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer from your actions. Okay. Found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Life and study combine in the Greek world. Okay, so nothing on that. So the 3 points of contention are these books, this cylinder case, which I think I'm going to do first.
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
Oh, is that where Greek study in that? Because it's anatomy, a circle of life, and what is this section? Biology. Right, let's listen to them in the gramophone then. I think it's a gramophone, I'm not 100% sure. Right, Drake cylinder 1.
red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold.
Okay.
To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
Wait, what?
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
So that's obviously an allusion to the chalice, so the red drops.
The chalice of knowledge.
So there's like 4? No, 5, aren't there? So if one's here. Yeah, 5 stones. Does that have anything to do with it? Red drops. I'm assuming that's the chalice. So I'm going to try that first. And
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. I finally understood that we were only
pieces on the chessboard of the gods.
Let those of us who are still standing protect our
Those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen.
I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows.
So
We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
So the ones of us still standing protect our queen. Does that not include the queen then? So is it 3 or 4? I'll try 3. That's if this is even the right order. It might be a different order in the save. Let's try 3. And lastly, I assume it has something to do with these books here.